Hi, I'm Jack and I just spent 50 hours updating my game. Keep in mind I may be an idiot, which pretty much means I need a little more time to add something than all the smart boys out there. Although if you have to learn everything as you go, this is pretty much how progress goes. At least I hope so. In the last video I created a base to the horror game I'm working on. This video is a separate being, you don't have to watch the first one to understand it, but if you want to, the link is in the description. And that's me improving it as much as I can. So there might be a small issue with my current lighting, a pretty tiny one, which is it doesn't fucking exist. So as you know, or don't, we have two generators. The plan is that if one is on, half of the map is lit, and then if the other one is on, then obviously the other half is lit. Then when both are on, the entire scene is lit, and when both are off, the emergency lighting is on, in the generator rooms. And will be red, because spooky. The lighting will play a role when I fix the enemy AI to change behavior based on lighting, which I didn't do yet, because everything is pitch black, it makes no sense. That's a problem for the future me though. Before I start the lighting segment though, I wanted to quickly say I switched to URP, mostly because I read I should, but also it allows me to use post-processing without downloading additional stuff. And probably some other things I just don't know about because I don't like reading. And by the way, all the lighting problems could have been avoided by just switching to HDRP instead of URP, because I just checked and it's much easier to deal with. So if you want to light an indoor scene, just go with HDRP, don't do whatever the fuck I'm doing. Okay, back to the lighting, which we have none of. So is there anything we can do with that? Well, yes, but actually no, but yes. Let me explain. So if you add more than 4 real-time light sources, the previous ones disappear, which means I can have 4 light sources including my flashlight for the entire scene. The thing is that calculating lights is, well, really expensive. Therefore, there are limits for how many light sources there can be in a single scene, which, well, makes sense. There are ways to get around that limit, yeah, but that would not be a great solution because the game would be running at the speed of, well, your mom chasing a burger, which is not that fast. So what solutions do we have? If you know anything about game development, you've probably heard of baking the lights, which works way better in that case. So baked lighting is, well, baked into a texture, which means it's calculated before running and is very inexpensive, which, well, in turn means you can have infinite amounts of them in the scene. So, alright, that would mean that the solution would be just baking the lights, right? Well, yes. And no. It is free and good looking. What not to like? Well, 2 things mainly. One, the light is a texture, meaning it cannot light moving objects. There is a half solution for that though, reflection probes, and I'm going to get how they work and why that's not a perfect solution in a minute. And 2, changing light is just a huge pain in the ass. But still, there is no way I'm going to make it work with real-time lighting, right? So we have to figure something out. So one of the solutions is baking 4 different light maps for all the scenarios and then change them while playing whenever I have to. Which is, well, not a bad idea, but also has more problems. So as I said, reflection probes are the solution for the first problem because they allow us to light moving objects with baked lighting, but also an issue to solve when changing the lighting. So reflection probe is a cute little body that checks if there's any light information around it on static objects. If there is, it projects that information on non-static objects around it, which, well, in simple terms means monster lit, very good. What's not very good is it doesn't cast shadows, at least not that I know of. Still, better than not having the monster lit. But there is another issue, a bigger one for now. I have to now take the information from the reflection probes and, well, change it whenever I change lighting, because it doesn't check the texture in real time, nor does it save to a file, it just saves the information after baking. I mean, it is saved to a file, it just can't be accessed, not to my knowledge at least, which is, well, not saying much. All that just to say, monster lit in dark rooms. Fuck, lighting is awful. I found a little script though. It saves all that information into a text file and then saves all the baked maps into a folder. Then I made a new one that can use all that information after building the project and then change everything in game. If you want that script, tell me in the comments, I will happily post it if anyone needs it. So, alright, we finally have lighting now that changes when the generators turn on and off, and reflection probes which, well, light the monster properly. Sort of. There are a couple of issues I will have to tackle in the future, like shadows, but that is just for another time. Let's do something else, please. I'm tired of all that bullshit. So, when I finished lighting, I thought that the game loop is, well, just fucking stupid. I mean, why am I even here? What am I doing? Why would I go into that basement over and over again if I'm more likely to die than to leave and survive? Once, it would make sense, like I was taken or something, but if I want it to be played a couple of times, which, well, I do, it's just stupid. So yeah, I came up with a little story. I will not go into all of it, because I want it to be discovered in-game, and explaining everything would ruin the fun for all the 11 people that would probably want to play it, for which I'm grateful, by the way. But there's all the information I can give you. Basically, we're on a rogue planet, meaning we don't have a star that gives us energy. Because of that, we need a different energy source that is powerful enough to power cities. And so what we're doing here here is creating that energy. The gameplay will change slightly with that narrative, but the biggest difference is that we're not trying to escape, but rather stay here and charge the reactor. As for why the monster is in there and how it generates all that energy and all that fancy stuff in between, I won't give an answer. At least not in the videos. But I thought of all that, don't worry. That is a huge chunk of game development. I didn't expect it to take that long. So the plan in that regard was to add models and textures for all the existing stuff. Which, well, means ground and wall texture, models for buttons, levers and generators, and the monster. So first, having the story laid out, I was thinking about the graphical style, and I really like stylized games. Stylized means I have to draw every texture myself and model everything, well, myself, no scans. And when it comes to the world, I love steampunk, so steampunk it is. And it makes sense with the story. Somewhat. The lever had a couple of tries. With the last model, the animation itself took around an hour, but may I say, it looks fucking incredible. The button was very simple, nothing to see here. Animation took probably about 5 minutes and didn't fucking work. It worked every 2 clicks, which is just stupid. Fixing that took around an hour again. Stupid shit. Hate you. It's insane that something so fucking simple can have so many fucking issues. Alright. Then I went with the generator, and honestly, it is my favorite so far. I didn't change it to shade smooth because I didn't want to spend time marking sharp edges, but it will be smooth sometime in the future, when I feel like doing it. I don't currently. Animation took 10 minutes and thankfully worked. Honestly, I didn't expect that. Next, I started working on something easier, the ground texture, for which I bought Photoshop. And I don't know if I regret it, but I am certainly a lot poorer now. But in terms of graphics, we are richer. A whole wood texture richer. That tiles and looks decently if you squint your eyes a bit and move a couple of steps back. A couple more. Yeah, a little more. Yeah, there we go. I don't see anything wrong with that. And last were walls, but, well, I didn't bother trying to make a tile, I just immediately resigned and made the simplest material known to man. Color, with 0 roughness. Wait, max roughness, I think. Then I thought the monster would be a simple addition to my model collection. I was wrong, unfortunately. Honestly, a big chunk, like around 5 hours was spent trying to model something decent, but everything was pretty awful, so... Okay, so I had to go with the first thing I created, which was this. A little spidery thing. Not really working well with the story, but, well, you don't know the story, so there's nothing you can do about it. I will change it later, don't worry. Also, I just didn't bother animating because I rigged it wrong, so yeah, it's just sliding menacingly. So anyway, that was all, and I'm not going to lie, I did learn a lot. And not in a fuck you finish the video yourself kind of way. A bit more like, holy shit, I have no way of getting away from the monster if he finds me kind of way. Because the monster is now moving at the speed of light, or at our running speed, really. We need some way to get away if he finds us, otherwise we can't not lose if he does. And there is no way he doesn't, because he sees me usually earlier than I do see him. Bitch. You can say I programmed it all you want, I don't give a shit, I hate him. The amount of times I had to re-record something because this dick found me and killed me is crazy. I could have disabled him for the recording, but I am not a bitch, so yeah. Anyway, I forgot what I was on about. Yeah, hiding. So we need a way to hide from the monster, otherwise it just makes no sense. So I got inspired by all the horror games in the world and added a locker. I will not go into detail of how it works, but it does, and you can see through it and can't use the flashlight while inside. Also turns off the flashlight while you're, well, inside. So now the monster can't see it. Okay. So, the last thing I did was all the fixes, so let me introduce you to Walking Sideways. Monster seen us while inside the locker. More sideways walking. Generators being fucking stupid. And last but not least, well, no, that's it. There's all sideways walking. So yeah, the most annoying thing, as you've probably guessed, was sideways walking. And after a bit of digging, the problem turned out to be in the peeking system. By the way, I say it like it was easy to find, like it wasn't. And at first I was like, alright, well, let's see what's wrong. Okay. Yeah, I have no clue what this is and who programmed it. I guess I'll just, yep. Here we go! No picking, no problem. I will add it back in the future. I will just add animations instead of whatever this fuckery is. Not today though, I'm sick. Next was that. How does it know? I mean, it would make sense. I didn't try to hide the fact I went inside, but it's a game. Just leave me the fuck alone. Thank you, God. Okay, please don't break. that thing I actually fixed with lighting, so it didn't take up those 5 hours, but, well, it didn't fit in thematically, so I added it here. That was such a stupid problem. So the thing was, they have a couple of functions. So first, they charge the battery. Second, they have lighting, depending on what generators are on. And third, they show up on the map. So those three things are dependent on one variable, should interact. If yes, it means it's off, its light is off, and should show up on the map. And does it work that way? Fuck no. I fixed it though. It was an easy fix, but as always, fucking impossible to find. Fixing stuff is stupid. Adding new stuff is awesome. You get to feel like Jesus or something. Anyways, it's cool. Like, there's nothing and suddenly there's something. Suddenly is a strong word. I mean, it's like in a few hours. Still, that's cool. Fixing does nothing new, and it takes an unreasonable amount of time for changing nothing, but making it not break in some stupid fucking scenario. It works, though. For now, I hope. And that is all I did in the past 50 hours. And holy shit, I've got over 5 hours of footage to go through. Was 50 hours much? Well, no, not really. Did I learn a lot? Hell yeah. That was the thing I liked about it the most. I struggle with doing stuff consistently, so today was a cool change. And what's awesome about it is the more time I spend on it, the more time I want to spend on it, so it becomes just easier to be more consistent. Well, for now, we'll see what happens in the future. So yeah, 50 hours is not that much really, but in 50 hours you can learn a shit ton of new stuff. So what I can take away from that video is just spend time doing the thing you want to learn, and even without a plan, it eventually just becomes easier. And that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed. For those who stayed till the end, I wanted to say first of all, thank you, and if you want to see more of me, maybe sub to the channel and like the video. That makes me pretty happy. And a little thing, I'm sorry if the update wasn't as big as you imagined, but I'm learning and I want to post videos somewhat consistently, otherwise I just won't do shit ever. I'm trying to make it interesting, but you know, I'm learning that as well. So still, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and hopefully see ya.